Yeah.
Yo, stop. No. That shit sounds disgusting, man.
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Planet of Doubt podcast, where we doubt everything. I'm here with the squad. My name is Chris.
CX Drop.
I see you.
Manny.
It's your boy John Lewis. Welcome to episode Sweet 16 on your boy. You get your numbers together, Chris. Welcome to
the threes.
episode 16. Sorry we're a little out of schedule, but we still made it within the week. So we apologize for that. But we're here, and that's all that matters. Thank you for joining us. Now that you're here, you might as well subscribe, like the video. I promise you we got some good content in this channel, Planet of Doubt channel. And we're going to just keep going at it. But yeah, man, how's everybody doing? We back.
Hell yeah, dog.
Doing
Chilling,
good.
man. Finally, COVID free. Finally back at work. So
Hey.
you already know what it is, man. Pretty lit.
I don't know if I envy your life or I hate your life.
Dog, tell me how. No. You're gonna hate my life in a second, dog. Tell me how. Okay, so I got rid of COVID, right? And then I'm good to go back to work. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, maybe they'll give me a day, or maybe they'll give me an easy shift, to start off with. Off rip, you got to come in 5 a.m. I was like, bro, oh my god, bro, getting up for that was the worst, man. That was fucking terrible.
5 a.m. What do you even do at 5 a.m.?
A
Floor
bunch of different
service.
stuff, bro. Yeah, and set up the store, work at the offsite warehouse and stuff like that. But yeah, but that's
I feel bad for you, dog, but you've been out for a hot minute.
I know. I can't complain too bad. But I had to come back, work at 5 a.m. and then work 5 days straight. And I was like, oh my god, fuck this.
Yeah, the day straight. It's weird because day straight is regular for 9 to 5 people.
Yeah.
But in retail is weird.
It is
Because
weird.
we always get 1 day after 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah.
So our weeks are kind of split. So expressing that, I feel you. I always say that I'd rather work spread out instead of 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
But that's literally the normal thing for everybody else.
Yeah, so many people if you work a 9 to 5, you work Monday through Friday, off the
Right.
weekend. Retail, bro, you could work Monday, Tuesday, be off Wednesday, and so
Right.
on, man. So I feel you.
That's exactly my schedule right now.
Oh, word, damn.
But yeah, man. Well, welcome back to Sawgrass.
Yes. Back at the grass.
Have we stated the malls that we?
I think you guys have sprinkled it in every.
Yeah.
I think it comes up every episode.
Yeah. Fuck it. Whatever.
35 people watching. Now you know.
Yeah.
You can find John Lewis at either Sawgrass or Avatar.
The whole thing.
This weekend was nuts in the fucking both malls,
Bam, and
dog.
that's the other thing, dog.
Was it Labor Day weekend
I
shit,
came
dog?
back to the fucking crazy Labor Day weekend bullshit, dog. It was
Yeah,
my
dog.
god, what a nightmare, man.
It was bad. It was really bad. And then today, of course, is back to Ghost Town. Did you work today?
No, I was off today. Today was my first day off since I got back.
Yeah, everybody for the most part did their shopping this weekend. So
Yeah,
now,
I worked yesterday, and it was like that. Yesterday, bro, it was, oh my god, I couldn't believe how slow it was. I was like, damn. I thought because of the weekend that it had picked up a little bit, but nah, that was just the holiday.
Yeah, people did what they had to do on the weekend, and now they're gonna relax again for a minute. But I'm never complaining about that shit. Yeah, man. What we got? What topics we got going?
Just wanted to talk about a little bit of what's going on over here in Jersey, because we got some new COVID boundaries and rules and stuff like that. So now we're finally able to eat inside. We're
welcome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I waited 15 weeks for this.
It's so surreal. We're able to eat inside. Gyms are open, and everything's pretty much back to normal, just with wear masks and shit like that. But
That's so weird to hear you say that, dog.
yeah, bro.
Florida did not give a fuck.
September 4th, I think that's when all this shit passed, and now we could pretty much go semi back to normal, I guess.
Well, I guess talking about going back to normal a little bit. Most of us were at the movies this past week. Even myself, I was out there too.
Really?
Yeah, we went to go watch Tenet 2 days ago, I believe, and I know you guys went a couple of days before that. This is going to be a funny conversation because I'm sure we're going to hear obvious takes. I'm sure somebody's going to be surprised, and it's gonna be hilarious trying to see how everybody breaks down their experience. So, I guess by the way, spoilers. We will be spoiling, I guess, some of the movie or most of the movie. So you have been warned. Spoiler alert. So if you do not want to get this movie spoiled, please skip ahead. You've been warned. So yeah, guys. So Tenet, tell me what's your thoughts and give me your experience.
I think one thing that like we all kind of spoke on was like it's definitely very like fast paced. You know what I mean? Like they throw kind of a lot at you at once. It's so the whole concept of the movie of like the stuff, you know, going back in time and like you know what I mean? Like that whole what's it called, Chris? Conversion. Yeah, that whole concept.
Inversion.
Okay, sorry, I'm thinking retail. The whole topic of inversion, like at least for me personally, like when it was starting out, like it took me a while to kind of figure out like what the hell was going on. But then like I feel like the deeper I got into the movie, the more I understood it and so on. One thing that like this movie did that I wish like in Interstellar, you know, I know you love that movie, Chris, but you know I'm not crazy about it. I wish Interstellar would have done this, is that they tell you in the beginning, like, don't try to figure out the science. Like, this ain't gonna make sense. Like, just accept it. Like, they tell you that like really early in the beginning. So like for the whole movie, like I wasn't there like, yo, but if they did this, then how would they? But how? You know what I mean? Like I wasn't having that moment. So that's one thing I did appreciate from it.
That's an interesting point because I didn't realize it till you said it, but I don't know how I feel about that because you're basically telling me there's gonna be loopholes.
Yes. No. I
just go with us.
Yes. No. I feel you. I feel you.
And then when I come in this movie, I'm like, I got my calculator, I got my loose leaf paper, and I'm ready to follow the shit out of this movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, but when you say like when you cop out of the science, you're kind of like,
now it is a cop out, like you said, it is definitely a cop out. But like the thing with me, dog, is like time travel movies, bro, like they always have fucking plot holes, man. No matter
everybody has their own like way of like portraying it.
Facts. And then no matter the movie, when it deals with time travel, maybe with like one or two exceptions, there's always some fucking plot holes in it. So I like the fact that this movie kind of got ahead of it and they were like, look, man, just accept what's going on. You know what I mean? I agree 100% that it is a cop out, but it's like in a weird way, it's a cop out that I actually liked for this movie. You know what I mean? But yeah,
I'll give you that. Oh, there goes Sephora.
How many fucking DR? What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm gonna like as you guys talk, I'm gonna get in there, and I'll probably give my review last because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be different than everybody else's. But Chris, you should have been the first one to start this goddamn thing off because you would not shut the fuck up about this movie. So you finally saw it. What did you think? How was your experience?
Well, first of all, just being back in theaters just felt so at home.
Yeah, facts.
And I was just so happy to be there. Thank God this shit is opened up again. My experience with the movie, dog, it's just like watching that movie because like, sure, the acting could be fine and the story has like it's time travel. The story's been done before, but like just seeing the shit unfold. And like all the lengths that he goes to without using like CGI and the places that he goes to and the sets that he builds, is like it's like truly breathtaking to watch. Like just seeing everything unfold, like that's one part of it. The cinematography obviously did not lack because you know Christopher Nolan is a fucking god with that shit. The story, when as confusing as it may seem, when you bring it down to basics, its futures works with the past to prevent the nuclear spoilers, the nuclear holocaust, or pretty like that whole shit that they were trying to stop, trying to save the world pretty much. It's a great concept. I thought that I was obviously confused, like everyone is confused during the whole fucking movie, but when you know what the basic plot of the movie is, you just sit back and really enjoy it. And I thought John David Washington did a fine job. I thought Robert Pattinson was fucking amazing. I don't know if you guys thought that way.
Chris, I'm going to co-sign you on that because I actually fucked with his performance probably more than anybody else's.
Who in our crew said this? I don't know if it couldn't have been Usher because he wasn't there with us, but somebody who went to watch it with us was like, I feel like we saw a young Bruce Wayne in this movie. We could see him as, I don't know if it was Tyree or somebody else, but I agree with you though. His acting was pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked Robert Pattinson's performance. I thought the villain, I don't remember his name, but I thought the villain did a really good job. It's just, it was like, I'm like getting flustered just talking about it because it's such a complex movie that like to break it down is so difficult. But I love the original idea that Christopher Nolan came up with, because thankfully I told Manny this when I walked out of the movies. I was like, yo, even watching the trailers, I had no idea what this was going to be about. And like, I don't think the trailer spoiled anything or like took anything away from the experience, because I really couldn't figure that shit out. When they started messing around with that inversion stuff and like how the bullets were coming up and like how everything worked, and then when they went into the inverted world, that shit was like mind blowing to me. And then there's a bunch of spoilers that we haven't gotten into yet, but I'm sure we eventually will. I thought it was amazing off the first view.
You've seen it one. You've seen it one time.
I've seen it one time. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on a little opposite page than you guys with the acting in the movie. I think the characters were really forgettable. Like I think you could have put anybody in there and it would have been maybe the same. I think Robert Pattinson probably was the best one, but he also wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh damn, that's some acting right there. I was like, okay, it's just solid acting. I think what's his name? John David Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think he did good, but I don't think his character was anything special. His character is one of those, like very plain, neutral, like, oh, I just get stuff done, but I have like no emotion type of characters. So it's like a little bit harder to like really like flex your acting skills when that's your character. I mean, some people could do it, but in this movie, I just don't think it was written to be done that way. I think the story carried it more than the characters.
I feel that.
But I do have one of my gripes with the movie, even though I did really enjoy it the first watch. The gripes I did have are that I think it was too fast paced, like you guys said, for its own good. For a movie this complex, I felt like stuff was just happening too fast for me to take in, and it was like just like jump cut from jump cut, and you were just from one place to another place, and it kind of like takes you off for a second. I think that took away from the movie a little bit for me.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that in the beginning. In the beginning, shit was just going by so fucking quick. I was like, yo, I couldn't really like wrap my head around it because so much was, and like you said, jump cuts. Christopher Nolan is usually known for cutting like that, like quick jump cuts, but it's never been to that like extent. So I agree with you. The beginning was very fast paced, slower down obviously towards the end, but it was very fast paced.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what I said, and I guess bring it to a more extreme part with me. So I thought the movie was cool because of the lack of character development. Like I don't really care. I don't really care to save the world if we're not really feeling the need to, or not the need to, but like
you don't get attached to like any of the characters.
Exactly. And like he said, like you could have taken out anybody and put them in and it would have been the same movie, which is not good for me because I was waiting on this film like you were waiting for Robert to like feel him out with John David Washington. And once again, it's the same shit that I've been saying about Ballers, about Black Klansman, stale acting. It was a lot of the transmitter needs to be like, so I felt like he was reading off a teleprompter like half of the time he was on the screen, if not most of the time. Now, was he really physical with it? Yes. The comeback scenes were crazy. Anything physical was great, but I guess just the way he was giving me and that's another thing. Like, I don't think we're confused about what's going. We get the concept, right? Like it's like you said, it's the future and the past has to happen, and blah blah blah. Yeah. It's just following the timelines, but then knowing that there's going to be a pothole, so that's the confusing part. That you start to like, well, I don't know, and okay, I guess like, and that's where like it starts to ruin it for me because, like, and maybe I do this to myself. Like when we went to go watch the movie Us, by Jordan Peele, I believe.
Yeah.
Like I was ready for the come around and like yes, wow, genius at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm waiting for that full circle moment, and I guess I was waiting for that here as well. But yeah, like I don't know, man. I thought it was like a James Bond like spy film, like have others have like stated, and like the cinematography was great. How much do you know how much of it was CGI? Was there any CGI at all?
Christopher Nolan
he doesn't do that.
Doesn't do CGI. Like only certain parts. Like
it can't be completely non-CGI.
It can't be completely non-CGI.
No. He blew up those buildings. He blew up those buildings.
That plane that flew into the building was real.
Oh yeah, but the building blowing up at the bottom and then at the bottom and then at the top, like that's clearly CGI.
Yeah, but that wouldn't surprise me either if he had those sets built also. Maybe not one building
sure.
that.
Oh, okay, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying. But yeah, so like I don't know. I thought the movie was way too long, dog. I didn't feel attached to anybody, so I didn't care. Like I didn't care at all. Like and I think the concept of, it's not parallel. I guess it is. It's like parallel timelines is great and it's cool, but the way that it was portrayed, I just didn't care about it. And I think that the girl, forget her name, but she might have been the best actress to me in the film, like alongside everybody else, because she's the only one that made you feel some type of emotion or care for her. And then that's another thing. I didn't really like that. I might kind of be contradicting myself right now, but when the film is attached, like when his name is the protagonist, right? So he doesn't even have a name in the movie, John David. So it's like we're just supposed to go on this journey because he feels bad for the girl, basically. No, yes or no?
You're saying he didn't have like actual like motivations like to help her out, I guess.
Well,
or to do like what he was doing.
Like saving the world is obviously a priority, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't feel like that was the thing. It felt like making sure that she sees her son and that, she's safe was like, it felt like it was more of the plot than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think that we saw enough in their relationship for me to feel like that was real. You know what I'm saying? Or like why does he care so much to see them safe or not safe? I don't know. Like
in every review and like reactions that I've seen to this movie, everyone believes that the actress, the one that's pretty much revolved the whole movie, like she's the main character. She's the one that's supposed to be driving this movie, and it's pretty much centered around her. So if you didn't feel that attached to John David Washington or Robert Pattinson, I think you were supposed to feel attached to her. She was supposed to like drive the movie because everything was like revolving around her. And like you said, that you kind of did feel attached to her. You thought she was like the best character. And I also believe that she was the best character. I was definitely more attached to her than I was to John David Washington or Robert Pattinson. But just watching everything like unfold and just going with the flow of the movie, I didn't really mind their character arcs as much, but the woman herself was very interesting to me.
I think he did that kind of on purpose because like that's the only character that you see is feeling emotion and like has its story about having a kid, having a troubled life with the husband, and you never know about the main character, nothing of his life. You don't know nothing about him, not even his name. So like I think that's
I don't know why, bro. Like for some reason, like I felt that like that's what they were kind of trying to do, but I never like I don't know, like her for whatever reason she just did not click with me, and I think it's because like
maybe you didn't see enough.
Yeah, or maybe it was just too obvious that that's what they were trying to do. They were like, okay, you don't know him, so here, this is who you feel bad for. And I'm just like, okay, if you're here throwing this in my face, like I can't, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't organic, you know?
Yeah, we're only saying like, I'm not saying that she was the best out of, because her performance was that great. It's just that's the one option we had to follow.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I have this one. What would you guys would have wanted to see from John David Washington's character that you didn't get from this? Because I mean, if he's an agent that was given an assignment, and his whole character arc is to complete this assignment. I mean, unless you guys wanted like a side story or like.
So I think where they might have like shot themselves in the leg a little bit is like at the very beginning, they kind of established like who you were before. Like doesn't matter. Like this is what you do now. This is your mission. So like when you do that, it's like you give up any opportunity to like give him a little backstory, maybe like some trauma that he went through in the past. That if he goes, that he sees something during this timeline and sees it and it fucks him up. You know what I mean? Like I think that kind of held them back a little bit from helping you like really connect with his character. Just because like when you do that, you essentially like just putting a guy in there as a blank slate. You know what I mean? Like and he just like either Asia or John said it. Like he's just kind of going and getting shit done. You know,
if I'm not mistaken, because I've only seen the movie once, so I don't completely remember. But at the end, when they all grabbed that one piece and they were all pointing guns at each other, Robert Pattinson kind of told them like, "We've been doing this for some time, and like this is only the beginning for you," or something like that, and like this is the end for me. So like I don't know if they're saving that story.
Let me answer the first one and then what you just said right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the three things. When he took the pill to commit suicide to not give information, how did he end up on that boat with that dude? Like, why didn't the Russian dude just say, "Oh, well, he died. Let me just put him in front of the train, anyways"? I'm glad.
I've seen that one time. I can't remember.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that nobody knows the answer because that's a plot hole. Right there, it's like, oh, okay, this man just made it to the boat. We're just gonna act like that.
The Russian was like, he looks dead, and walked away.
Yeah, that's one. Two.
Lord.
Even if they don't give me the backstory, Chris, give me a smooth, swaggy dude, or give me an aggressive, I don't give a fuck about you, dude. Give me something to go like, oh, he's that type of dude. I see it. You know what I'm saying? Like
The Rock.
Shut the fuck
up. Why? Should I shut up?
I felt like he was trying to be that, but then it never came out.
I agree. I 100% agree with you guys. I thought John David Washington did. He didn't blow me away or anything. I just think he acted like
the. I don't blame him though. I don't blame him in the slightest.
We're gonna say that for every role that he does though.
We've been saying I thought he was. I've only seen him in Black Klansman. I thought he was terrific.
I haven't seen him in it.
I thought he was a little bit funnier than what I saw in this movie in Black Klansman, but not like a range of like
funnier.
Because I had the Black Klansman has like a little bit of like that sarcasm or like.
No, Black Klansman is funny. That movie is, could be considered like dark comedy or like dark humor or something like that. But this character just has to be more serious.
What did you? I was going to answer one more thing you said that Manny just answered, Chris. What was it that you were saying?
About
Manny,
what?
I said I was going to answer something you were saying, and then Manny answered it, but I forgot what it was.
I think I was saying like towards the end where like Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
Okay, so apparently, somebody tried to explain to me, and obviously, I guess all of this is up for grabs because there's no like confirmed storyline. But apparently he's from the future and he basically recruited himself to make sure that everything happens throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
So he was like the one that like he already has all the algorithms and everything in the future, but something happens where he needed to go back into the timeline to make sure that happened or something like that. So I think that's a cool aspect that, you know, we see it from the beginning. So he just looks like a regular soldier for the most part, but maybe potentially he's like really the head honcho, from the future who had to send himself back. You see, I think shit like that is crazy, and I think seeing that would have probably wrapped it up for me. Yeah, the protagonist.
But you're saying he didn't go.
He's
back.
From the future.
No, Robert Pattinson is.
No, because he hired Robert Pattinson to go back to help him.
Exactly.
From what I remember. I mean, you've seen it twice. I've only seen it the one time.
Yeah, he hired him, but you're saying that the main character is from the future and where?
He's not from the future, but in the future, he
hires him. I get that. And Robert Pattinson is the one going backwards to that
But I
time.
think he hired him to help him at this time. This is just the guy that we were following, the main protagonist.
Exactly.
Which is a crazy
Didn't know
concept.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember when they first meet up in the lobby and he's like, he'll have a Diet Coke.
Oh yeah, I know, but I thought you meant like the main character is like the actual one that's back in time like that. Because you said like,
the main character made happen everything we saw in the movie.
In his future self, I would say, because he was the one
Because
that hired.
remember when he walks away, Robert Pattinson walks away at the end. He's like, "Oh, you're only halfway there." So he has like a whole, he eventually becomes the dude that like gets everything working and all the algorithms or whatever.
The one in charge and the one that set everything up.
I would have liked to have seen that. Like that would have made me be like, "Damn, that was actually a crazy concept." Like, so the fact that like I kind of have to like assume that that's what it is doesn't really make it, come full circle for me in that sense.
Well, I mean, it just brought you into his world, I guess. Like his the way he was seeing things, because when he got told that's when we learned it as well. So like that was his like realization like later on that he's actually the head in charge of that. So I guess.
No, yeah, but I'm saying I sat down to a 3-hour movie and that's a huge part of it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's a huge
for
part.
You to just give it off in a line doesn't hit the same as us like seeing that actually unfold, physically. I'm just saying personally.
I get that. But I felt like because since we were actually going through every part the main character was going through, I felt like we were just in his eyes at that same time, like everything he would do from there on. If you know what I mean, like every time he went to back reverse time, we went with him and stuff like that.
No, but even if we're not saying nothing different. I'm saying like, let's say the movie was 6 hours long, like to get to that point where at the end of the movie he's like, you turn the camera and he has like all the algorithms in the background and he was the one who sent himself to show us the plan that we just witnessed.
If it was 3 hours long, it would have been nice to see that. Is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
This movie was Warner Bros, right?
Yeah.
If there's a director's cut, I'm definitely gonna be waiting for that.
It's Christopher Nolan. He does everything he wants.
I'm gonna hope that there's a director's cut, because if he decided to make this movie and not put in like all these like small details that could have helped it, like the way he did with Inception, because Inception was crazy concept too, but he broke down everything that it felt like, okay, I understand exactly what's happening and why it's happening. So if he made the movie without putting in those things and he like willingly just said, okay, no, we're just not gonna put that, we're just gonna cut it like this, then I'm gonna hold that against him. I want to believe that Warner Bros like, you got to condense it a little bit, take out some scenes.
Yeah, but
what would you
this is Christopher Nolan, like his director cut is the movie.
Okay, well if you're saying that it's him, then I think he messed up on that part. And I don't want to believe that Christopher Nolan messed up on that. Yeah, because I know he's so talented.
I don't know what I don't want to know. I don't want to say what Asiel is, Well, I'll say what I mean. Like I don't like that either. The fact that it's like it's so complex that you just got to figure it out. No. Tell me. Like we came to find out. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't know if that's where like Asiel is alluding to. So and maybe he did shoot like a fucking 5-hour movie, but they limited it to 3 hours or whatever. And who knows if we're gonna get to see that or whatever. But yeah, like Inception, like same thing. People always talk about how confusing it is. It's not really confusing. It's just you just gotta follow it.
Inception, like I've heard people say that like a couple times that it's crazy confusing, but I'm like, it's like you said, like just follow it. Like it's not, you know what I mean?
And then at the end, it does give you that like, so you can still give me a thoughtful movie that you have to like think after you leave. I don't really need all the answers mainly, but I don't want to rely on, this is time travel, which isn't real, so there isn't a right answer, so let me just do whatever I want, and then y'all can be okay with it, just because it's complex or whatever. So that's like one aspect of it that I'm not. I
think just a couple of scenes explaining like a little bit, like Manny said earlier, like a little bit more of the science of it I think would have helped me a lot get more into the movie. Like because the whole explanation for the whole was it inversion was basically just that bullet scene, right? And the rest was just like, okay, kind of just, you get it, figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out from there.
If they would have just made that scene just a little bit longer, maybe like have the scientists go a little bit more in depth. It doesn't even have to be like a crazy like extra 20 minutes or anything. Just a quick like.
But she says she didn't even know how it works.
But I mean.
Well, that's why I don't care about this movie.
No, I'm saying like if she's the one that said that she doesn't even know how it works, what do you want her to explain more?
But that's the thing, though. Like
he should have added that.
Yeah, somebody wrote her.
I don't like the fact that. Yeah, I don't like the fact that. I don't like the fact, or even if you want to put it in the end to make it like somewhere you could throw it in as the movie goes on, explain it more once.
But as
the character understands more of it, maybe the
that scene where the wall, the bullet holes, they took that wall from that inversion part and they brought it to their world. So that's why that whatever reverse thing works with that. But they
I get what Osceola's saying. I get what he's saying, but I think throughout the movie as you watch, I think you get it. Like,
I think you get it enough, but not as much as.
I don't say technology, but you get like. You get the reverse.
Cool. You get the concept. Yeah.
That's the bare minimum. Like that's the basic understanding of it. But like, I think I got it. I mean, obviously.
But that's the thing.
I understand what Osceola is saying.
A certain level.
But I think throughout the movie, you get it enough where you don't really need those extra scenes.
Exactly. I don't want to just get it enough. I want to get it like the way in Inception, how they explain like they go into your brain and then in your mind. You create your own little worlds, and say you put like a secret, and it's like written on a paper in a safe. Yeah, that kind of explains like your subconscious, and it's just like small stuff like that.
Yeah, but they don't explain how that machine they use in Inception works.
What machine?
The little suitcase box. They use,
yeah.
Oh, but that's OD. That's not like. If you want to understand, that's way different. If you're trying to say that, and it's like the same, that's not the same.
When they explain the inversion thing, like. He like picks up the bullet, and then at first he can't do it, and then he's like, oh, why can't I do it? And she goes, oh, you have to have picked it up. So then he picks it up and then drops it, and he can do it. You know what I mean? And like,
I feel like you say that.
Yeah, like even explaining that, like it's like it doesn't make sense because it's like if I dropped it already, why can't I just pick? You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know.
It barely makes enough sense to get by, but I think he could have done a better job at.
And if you really follow it, there should be even more versions of the versions that we saw in the film. Like, so that's another, like, I don't want to say plot hole, but when there was like, we saw 3 versions, right? Like we saw the beginning, the end, and then the trying to make it right people. But those timelines also create other timelines. So what's going on in those versions? Like, are they chilling? Are they trying to do the same thing? Like,
I mean, another thing that I think goes against us right now is that we have all only seen it one time. So anybody watching this, we've only seen it. I told them when we were done with the movie, this is a movie I really like after one viewing, but after a second, I'll probably love. But I just haven't gotten around to watching it the second time yet.
I was just about to say that before Osceola saw it, because like
I've seen it once too, but I've seen like 3 explanation videos, and nobody's really saying nothing that isn't just like explaining the timeline.
I mean, I haven't watched any reviews. Yeah, I didn't want to watch anything until I watched it a second time.
I haven't watched any explanation videos either. Like I said, I was gonna say what Osceola just said because we're watching that for the first time and there's just so much going on that we just kind of keep like looking around and trying to keep track of every little thing. So maybe now that we know the base concept and what's going on, if we watch it a second time, we could look for those little explanations or maybe like those little things.
And what if you don't get those things?
You may not. I mean, I feel like every time I've seen a movie like twice, I always pick up something that I didn't get the first time. And for this movie, as complicated as it is, there's definitely you definitely won't go in there a second time and be like, oh, I left with nothing. There's one little thing. Like I'm still pretty confused about the ending, where the backpack was on like the other side.
Yeah.
And like it had like the little ring, like the little circle red thing. Like Jose, since you saw it a second time, can you explain that part to me a little bit?
What?
Like you know how Robert Pattinson's backpack was like on the other side of that gate, and he was like trying to say like what happened there. I don't really fully understand that part.
What do you mean? What happened there? That Robert Pattinson, when he was in reverse, he went to save the main character to open that door, and that's whenever they were in that scene to get the 3 algorithm pieces. That's what, and he Robert Pattinson is leaving to the helicopter.
Okay,
he was about to tell him like, "Yo, you're gonna die here, or are you gonna go and try to save me?" And then he couldn't say it because it might not happen or mess things up. And like he was actually the one too that saved him in the beginning of the movie. When in the opera scene, he had the little red thing there too.
Question: Who knew that John David Washington was fighting John David Washington in that art scene?
I didn't know. The movie was going by too quick for me.
I didn't know fully, but right where Robert Pattinson, where he was fighting the other guy, and you can't see the other guy, and then he makes like that face. I kind of was like,
I knew something was up, but yeah, I was like,
can that be them? But then when it finally did happen, I'm like, oh, okay, it was right. But then, like,
this man was driving the car that fucking flipped too on the. Yeah. That's it. Those scenes are fucking crazy. The action scenes, oh my god.
That'll be my last my last thing. Christopher Nolan finally absolutely killed it with his
combat.
Well, with everything. What is it? Like his choreography on everything.
Yeah, I agree.
If he would have had this type of choreography in the Dark Knight trilogy, forget it. No one would ever debate about anything about that movie.
Who else saw the opening scene was like, this feels exactly like a fucking Dark Knight? Or like one of those trilogies. I was like, fuck.
That shit came out way too hot.
Yeah, that shit did come in.
The seats were rumbling. That shit was crazy.
I don't mind coming in hot as long as you give me a chance to like really follow it. But because Mad Max comes in extra hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's movies that come in hot. I don't have a problem with that as long as you eventually give me something to work with.
Yeah.
But I feel like this movie was just way too long for us to not really get somewhere like fully like. And I didn't care enough. Like I feel like the inversion idea is what's driving this movie, but it's not. It wasn't really told to us in the best way that it could be, in my opinion. Like, damn, imagine if this was real. All right, now.
I feel like he did a good job trying to do it. Like, I don't see no one else has ever done something like this. Like,
off of first viewing, I'm not gonna hold it like completely.
Me either.
Maybe if I go back and watch it, it'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like the first time I saw it with Seal Manny, like I came out that movie, what did I just watch? Like from the beginning to end, I was confused, like, because it is super fast paced. You're like trying to catch up so many times, and then when you finally do, and then you try to put everything together, and then it makes you more confused.
The thing is, they put a lot of stuff early in the movie that you don't learn about, like why it's there or what it does until like closer to the end of the movie. So that's what it is. So you're watching a lot of stuff happen and you're like, okay, like what the hell? Yeah. And then once shit starts like unfolding or whatever, you're like, oh, that was this thing. Okay, like, you know what I mean? So I think that's what
like by that time I fell asleep twice, so I don't even care anymore. Like I dozed off twice, but for like 20 seconds. Dude, at some point I'm gonna get tired of, like Manny said, I have to wait till end of the movie 3 hours later to find out like what's really going on.
That movie went pretty quick for me.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't bored of it. Like I was on it.
I think the action in it is what kind of kept me like invested, because I just love crazy action scenes. So like that part of it was really what kept me tuned in.
Yeah, my favorite part is that the last like the desert scene they're in with the red and blue team.
That shit is crazy.
I don't even know how the hell they did that.
We didn't even talk about this, but shout out to Aaron Taylor Johnson, dog.
Yo,
this is like the second time where like I barely fucking even noticed it was him. I was like, holy shit.
Fucking Kick-Ass comes out of nowhere.
Word, that was wild.
He was lit. I knew they casted him, and I completely forgot that.
Yeah, it barely looks like the same.
Word, yo.
I guess it's like the
guy's a great actor.
Mustache and shit.
Very talented.
Unpopular opinion. We're throwing the segment in here. Every movie, regardless, I don't care what anybody says, should have subtitles throughout the whole thing.
Yo, yes.
Yeah, this movie definitely needed subtitles.
This one would have definitely, especially in that opera scene when they have the mask on. I was like,
yeah, like half the movie they have mask on and you can't know what they're saying. And they're speaking hella fast.
the main villain is like foreign, so like his accent.
Yeah, and they got accents too.
Yeah,
Everybody is complaining about the mix of the film.
Yeah,
Like, any
I've
video
heard
I've
that
seen.
too.
No, yeah,
I personally didn't have a problem with that. I didn't have any problems.
when you
but
have
I know people
the sound
Manny said the
effects
same
and
thing.
music over here and then the voice over here,
yeah.
there's a problem.
Nolan's been known to do that though. You watch The Dark Knight Rises again. Listen to Bane talk.
Well,
and
that-
Yeah,
listen
but
to
it's
music
in that
over
movie.
it.
It's
He
just
fixed
Bane.
it though,
Yeah, and in that movie it's just Bane. In this
Yeah.
one, it's like a couple people. Like it's crazy.
and when I saw it, we watched it in standard room. Thank you God, because I do not want fucking. That shit was already loud as fuck every time there was an explosion. I didn't need the IMAX experience of that
Oh,
shit.
I love that
IMAX was
shit.
lit.
Yeah, well, they were talking about going D-box. We were ready to.
I felt like I was in D-Box, IMAX, and fucking everything already.
Nah,
Hell
that shit was cranked up to the max.
Way too fucking loud.
But yeah,
Shout out to
what
Lamar
I
for that
enjoyed
score.
was mainly the cinematography, the locations he did. That shit was crazy. Like, I saw like this had no
Boy, those
green screens
boats.
at all. Like most locations, you have green screens, you have all these stuff, but he did
He
on,
flew
on
to all
set.
those
Yeah,
places. He flew to India. He flew to
all those locations he flew and shot there. That was really good.
Where did the money go?
In
to
locations,
probably shooting on location, flying out all the actors,
Yeah.
all the money, all the. He crashed a plane for God's sake.
Yeah, and
had to
he had
pay
to
for that
close like the
plane.
whole city for like the whole driving scene with the fire truck and stuff like that.
On the airplane.
Because he ended up paying. Allegedly, initially it was 200 million, but he spent it more, I believe.
No, I think it was
Um,
140 million or something.
Somebody check
I'll
that,
look it
'cause
up.
I heard it was 200, and then I heard it was even more after, like when it was said and done. And then I think low key the movie first week did like 25 million or something like.
$225 million was
The
the
budget?
budget.
Yeah, I think I saw it made. I saw it like 4 days ago, and it had like 150 million already, but everywhere already multiplied.
Yeah,
great.
that's what I'm seeing right now.
Worldwide.
Everywhere, yeah, worldwide. Like here and other countries put together.
For the times, that's great.
Yeah, I would say for
Obviously, he
where we
didn't get
are.
his money back yet, but
I
unfortunately,
don't know.
in the
I
situation
don't know.
we're in.
He spent more money in Inception, and it was a way better film.
No, I think he spent less.
I know he spent less in Inception, and it was a better film.
No, yeah, I wouldn't put this better than Inception. I do like this movie, but I don't say it's his greatest movie.
Yeah, I can't put it better than Inception, but I've only seen it once. I got to see it again, and knowing me, I watched that shit a bunch of times, so I can't rank it yet in Nolan's his
This
I
repertoire.
feel like if it was gonna be better than Inception, I would have known, like off the first watch. And I liked it, but
Yeah.
I don't think I could.
Our
put it
first
up
watch Inception, I loved it.
Well, Inception
Yeah.
is an unbelievable movie.
Did you guys watch the conspiracy before the film came out about the potential tie-in to Inception that this movie had?
there. No.
I knew of those, like that it could be tied into Inception, but I didn't watch any reactions. I barely watched the trailer. I watched that trailer like once or twice, and I didn't watch anything else after that.
Well, the conspiracy video that I saw, if you want me to send it to you guys, let me know.
Yeah, send it.
That shit to me would have been better than what I saw, than the actual movie. Because the whole time I'm like, wait, so that could be, fam. This is the movie plot. I'm rolling. So that kind of fucked me up too. Kind of like already seeing like a bar set of like what it could be, and then it was like the complete opposite. But I was telling Jose though, like this is just we're talking shit here, so obviously this is an assumption. If he wanted to tie it into Inception, he could low key because this movie could be either the future or the origin of the Inception film because it has to do with time. It has to do with parallel time, right? So like Inception could be like either the elite version of like they figured out the best way to do it and it's an Inception, or Inception is like the first trial and error of the technology, and then you get Tenet. But that would be mainly on the technology, not like a story plot or whatever.
Listen, man, it's Christopher Nolan. Anything is possible. That man is an absolute genius. If he wanted to tie that in, he could, and he'd probably do it flawlessly. So
Another like
that'd be
theory
awesome.
I don't know if y'all want me to tell you this, that I heard. It's not like 100% true, but that they're saying that Robert Pattinson in this movie is the kid from the movie. The main actress's son.
Oh, whoa.
And they're saying like that could like maybe a whole thing. But I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what's thrown out there. One of the theories from this movie.
So that would mean that the main character meets him in the future. No. I'm not gonna try to figure this out.
Manny's brain.
Yes, okay, sure.
Manny's brain.
Somebody said that it could work with the timeline, and you see, like shit like that. Like I would like to see in film. Like, damn, he's the guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but for us to be like, well, that could be true, and I feel like I think this happened during us too. Is like, do we give credit to the director for the ideas that we are coming up with, or are we just coming up with better ideas of what it could have been? It's like 50-50. Well, I give it a 6 out of 10.
I'm not ready to fully rate it off of one watch, but if I had to give one right now, I'm gonna give it an 8 for right now.
I'll give it a 7.
I'm gonna ride with you, Jose. 7.
Yeah, if we're just doing flat numbers, I'd go 7. If not, I'd go like 7.5, 7.6, somewhere in that range. Off of one viewing, though. But I do think this is a movie that you'll like more off second viewing because you already understand everything you're supposed to be looking for.
That's what happened to me because I did see it twice, so like I wasn't worried or like trying to catch up. I was just maybe trying to catch up with what they were trying to say because I need subtitles. Yeah. So next time I see it, I'm putting full subtitles.
On the screen.
Yeah.
Imagine there's little details. Everything we said was just he already put it in there. We just didn't understand it.
Yeah, I'm not watching that movie again. So yeah, let me know how it goes because there's too many things that I can't sit through again, like the sound, the acting. I'm cool.
Maybe you've already seen it again.
Maybe you're inverted.
Inverted. Yeah, let's invert back to where I get my refund and take it back.
Damn, John, you're putting it like that?
Nah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. I need my money back bad.
It's a joke, guys.
I don't like that joke.
Oh, speaking about jokes.
Well, go ahead. What you got?
This better be the cleanest transition.
Speaking of jokes,
there's a lot riding on this. There's a lot riding on this.
Speaking about jokes, the McCactus is out. Travis Scott's merch and McDonald's meal is out and about in a McDonald's near you. Now, I want full credit for the McCactus joke, and they really put that shit on the fucking hat.
John named the McCactus, dog. John named it.
Literally, he was like, yo, it's going to be the McTravis, the McCactus. Wow, McCactus fitted on the cat.
There's no proof that he didn't come up with the name, so I'll give him that.
There is a pod where I said it before it came out, so you got to give me that. And then it inverted. But once again, man, I'm just going to give credit to Travis's team and himself for pulling this off. Getting a McDonald's sponsorship or deal, whatever he got, is crazy. Jose, I think you were telling me that it's only for 2 weeks.
Yeah, like it's for 2 weeks.
You can get the meal.
They're doing this, yeah.
And what does the meal consist of?
So people are, I guess, maybe it's overhyping it, or like maybe it is a overhyped thing, but it's been on the menu forever.
As with everything with Travis Scott.
So it's been on the menu, this whole thing. So it's a quarter pounder with cheese, but I think
the Royale with cheese.
The only difference is that they do add bacon. But the cool thing is that it comes with a drink and fries for only $6. And so that whole meal would have been like $9.
Does a quarter pounder come with bacon?
I don't think so. So that's the only thing.
Yeah, this one has bacon.
Yeah, that's the only difference. So like it's only $6, and like if you would get that meal regularly, it'll be like.
Why are you shaking your head, Chris?
You know how much shit you can get from McDonald's for $6?
Well, that's 6 McChickens.
Listen, I think I'm the biggest.
Not really. They raised the price.
Here. Oh, actually, yeah. No, you're right.
You can get 3 McChickens.
They raised the price.
This man Chris knows the menu.
$6, Jose. The McChicken is like $1.20 or $1.30.
No, over here it's almost $2.
Well, that's Florida for you.
They raised that shit up. But like I said, I've had it. It's all right. Like it's definitely better than their regular.
We sent our team on we sent us our special.
We sent out a film crew to our local McDonald's.
Yeah.
You see Jose like.
Funny thing is,
It's all right.
I've had it twice already.
Oh my
Wow,
God,
look at this
man.
hype
Here
beast.
we go.
But the only reason
flipping McCactuses for
Alright.
$20,000.
the only reason I had it twice is because I made a TikTok video.
Oh no!
I
Insert
forgot we had
TikTok
a-
here.
I forgot we had a TikTok star.
Yeah, you know.
The little respect I had left for Jose.
Yeah, once you go viral, you never know what to do.
Man, gets 6,000 likes and doesn't know how to act.
Oh my god! I'm kind of like maybe they'll do this in well, 2 weeks is not really the future, but maybe they'll do this. But I think they kind of missed their mark with not doing a Happy Meal.
Yeah, everyone's
Like a
saying
Travis
that.
Scott
Everyone's
play.
saying that. Like everyone.
That's the first thing that you think that you wouldn't do.
Yeah, but
if
I
you had,
think
like, a deal with
if
McDonald's.
they did do that, it would be even more crazy. Like people, even
Yeah, but who's mad at making more money?
well, the
like,
McDonald's
the company-
workers, like they're complaining because so much people are going there now, and they're just like I
Oh,
guess
so don't work at McDonald's.
There's a Burger King and a Wendy's right across the street.
No, I guess the way they're doing it, like they're like making jokes like in the drive-through about like Travis Scott stuff, and like it's
Yeah,
just
I
getting
asked
them mad.
Jose. I was like, Jose, what did you say when you pulled up to the fucking intercom?
The cactus check.
What did you say, Jose?
And I just like
Can I have the sicko mode special?
the Travis Scott meal.
No, you said the McTravis.
No, the Travis Scott meal. Like
Can I get the big Travis?
on the McDonald's Twitter, they tell you to say,
Cactus Jack.
yeah,
Cactus
Cactus
Jack
Jack sent me, and like people are doing that, and recording
Not
themselves,
saying that.
and they're like, "What are you talking about? We're not here for your jokes. Do you want the Travis Scott meal? Okay." That's what, like they're getting mad off of that.
Chick-fil-A would never.
Why are those workers
Chick-fil-A
getting mad at
has
that?
Chick-fil-A has a sponsorship coming with Kirk Franklin and next month. It's gonna be godly.
That's good.
This man with the puns, with the puns.
But yesterday, Jose sent us the link to Travis Scott merch
Yeah.
for the McDonald's, which I think McDonald's. If you're saying that people at McDonald's are complaining, I think they got the hype of Travis Scott fucked up because
No, yeah.
in merch sales, they're gonna see also like a way they're gonna exceed like expectations for sure
Definitely.
because of the Fortnite shit.
People were camping out.
That's so stupid.
Are you serious?
Yes.
For a burger,
Some
dog.
guy was camping out for like 3
Bro,
days.
they're not gonna run out of burgers. They literally have all
No,
those ingredients.
I guess it's because they probably thought it was gonna have like the toy or something. So like maybe it was
Like the first 100 customers. or
Popeyes
whatever.
ran out of buns, dog. So when it
Yeah, yeah.
that commercial that they made with Travis.
yeah the
It's lit.
toy.
it's lit.
They could have used that
That's
superhero as the toy.
that's also where they messed up with this marketing meal thing. Like if you get the burger, there's nothing that tells you like this is Travis Scott. Like not like the box.
At least
doesn't
the
say
rapper
any-
should have been.
At least something.
You know, people would have been selling
Yeah,
that
people
rapper
people
for
would
sure.
people are reselling the receipt that says Travis Scott.
Oh my!
That's
God.
already on eBay.
Dog.
Oh, Jose, go Photoshop like
Talk to
30 of
your
them
friends,
shits.
No, I kept mine just in case, you know.
Oh
Like
my!
figure that shit out. It's
Well,
our way out.
This is weird because I feel like before it came out, there was pictures of like the buns being like
No,
stamped
yeah,
with like
no.
a smiley face or
Well,
whatever.
people were like mocking that up, like a fake thing, and they were putting the toy too, like it's gonna look like this, so they're just overhyping it. So it just got.
McDonald's
like,
like didn't think all this all the way through. Like, you literally give me a commercial, which was great. He's dressing up as a superhero at the end. Why? And then I don't get the toy of like him in the action figure of like a superhero. That would have been great.
no, yeah.
Now maybe okay, you loot like the kids, like the demographic who would get a kid's meal. Yeah, they probably don't know who Travis is, but you already know our age down till like 12, they're gonna go get kids meals just because of the toy.
Yeah, the
You know what I'm saying?
Fortnite-
So, right,
the whole little kids are gonna be working at McDonald's now.
potentially. I bought a shirt I wanted to buy more things, but I didn't want my shirt to have the McDonald's menu on it all the time. So I bought one shirt, but they have a fucking life size McNugget pillow. That shit looks disgusting.
Chris, you bought it?
Anybody who buys that needs counseling.
I haven't even looked at the merch.
Really?
Damn, Chris. I thought you would have already bought every size.
No.
They're probably sold out.
No, they got some cool things on there.
I'm surprised the amount of things they had on there. They had a lot.
Yeah, because they know, dog. They know they're about to capitalize on this for sure as far as like merch sales.
Yeah, definitely.
I wonder. I guess that might be for a limited time, 2 weeks. I guess. I don't know.
Well, however long it takes to sell out for that, Travis Scott merch. Once you buy it, that's it.
I definitely think that I'm sure they had, pre-production on the warehouse, but I feel like they just because it's gonna take forever to get here. Yeah. So I think what
is it, like 9 to 12 weeks?
Next October.
Yeah. Yeah. Next sicko mode, we'll get that shit.
Boy, me and John thought we got scammed on the last fucking purchase. We paid for that shit. We paid for that shit in 3 months, haven't heard not one thing. And then
you definitely gotta forget about it. For sure. They had like a whole jersey shit. They had the jersey, a basketball pants with the jersey, a basketball with like writing on it.
They even had a McDonald's tray that says "I'm loving it."
Oh yeah. I would have liked more merch with the phrase "I'm loving it" on it.
Yeah,
because they only had it in the hoodie.
Yeah, and there's some like things that are on it that you wanted on the other shirt. Like that,
Right.
That's the thing that kind of threw me off. But like I saw that the last person like celebrity wise to have like a sponsorship like this was Michael Jordan. That was like over 20 years ago.
With McDonald's?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like celebrity
we
wise.
said that. I mean that ties in with Nike. So because we kind of spoke on that before.
McDonald's itself.
No, yeah, but I'm saying Jordan's is Nike.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that. I can see two of those huge. Well, Michael Jordan is fucking huge too. So, but yeah, I can definitely see that.
No,
yeah,
this is working with Jordan.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't, the whatever.
The monopoly.
The royalties is
man. Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, he's set.
Nike, McDonald's, Jordan. Let's get into it.
Disney.
The trifecta.
You already know Disney's. Yeah.
Speaking about Disney, like there was a rumor they might move to Texas. Or like
everybody moving to Texas.
Who the fuck?
That's a great.
Mickey Mouse is.
That's a great transition.
I don't know, like
Jose.
But like,
let's stay on this topic for a little bit, Chris. Right. We just got brought up.
I got one.
Speaking of Texas,
I got one.
All right, let's
fuck this
one.
I
just realized he said that.
I can't even get this topic in yet.
Speaking of Texas.
Wait, so who is going to Texas?
Disney World.
The whole thing? What do you mean moving it or they're opening it?
They were saying they were trying to. Supposedly they're trying to move the California Disney.
Okay, you can
Disneyland to Texas.
See, you said Disney World, so I was like, damn, they're gonna move Disneyland.
I was ready to fight anybody from Texas.
So Disneyland supposedly is trying to move to Texas from Cali.
Texas is lit.
To Texas.
Texas is too lit. You got the cheap properties for the low.
You've been to Texas?
Of course, I've been to Dallas. I've been to Houston.
I heard it's hella hot over there.
Fuck Houston.
It's hot.
It's hot over here.
It's hot. It's hot here. It's hot in LA.
Well, they probably
LA hit the fucking record high 121 this week.
Let's go back to Disney because I'm not over that.
Yeah, word. That's where we were before everything went HD.
I don't think they should move it. I think they should just open up another one. Yeah, it would be kind of fucked up though, because then it'll all be like in the south and like the east.
Yeah, Orlando and Texas.
Vegas, Six Flags.
All right, that's true. The Six Flags was closed like 5 days out the week for the most part. Now, I did hear this today. Ryan told me, and if this is true, I'm going to cop. Apparently, for Universal and Islands of Adventure, till the end of September, if you pay $155, you get to go at limited times for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I didn't hear that.
Wait, you're going to cop that, John?
If that's true,
I think if we don't, that's kind of fucked up.
We went to the movies. We could do anything.
Wait, you say now you pay one time?
If you're gonna,
you pay one time. Fool.
If you're gonna cop that, we cop for Orlando.
Yeah,
that is a crazy deal.
Wait, you're saying that's only for Universal or for Disney too?
For Universal and Islands, for both parks, though.
For both, yeah.
I think you pay $150 one time, and then for the rest of the year, you can go whenever you want. Now, mind you, the year is close to being done, so I guess.
No, yeah,
that's
but
still
that's
though.
lit. We're going to Orlando in a couple weeks.
We live
Disney is
close
fucking
enough to
genius.
Disney.
Yeah, we can literally go like 2 or 3 times during that trip, and we'll make our money back.
So obviously, we'll
Read more
do
on it.
some more research and see if it's true. But Ryan did it though. Ryan bought it last week,
Yeah.
but he said that it does end in September. So I mean, we got a whole month. But
Oh, it ends in September. Oh, like the deal.
to buy the
The
ticket.
deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think we should definitely do it because 150 for a couple months, hell yeah, that's lit.
But you think you'll make multiple trips?
I think
If we pay 150, I'm definitely doing it.
well that, and I feel like whoever's going to Orlando in October obviously has their opportunity then. But I also think that like if like 3 of us were off on a Tuesday, like, let's just ride out. What the fuck?
Facts. Let's just
You
fucking
know what I'm
ride out. Yeah, facts.
And this is the bad part, though. I heard that their time frame is shorter now. I think Universal's open 10 to 6, and I think
not bad.
Islands is 11 to 5. So you definitely got to go. Because I hate going early, dog. Because I feel like you get most of the park done anyways. Like even if you get there at 2 or 3 p.m., but you can't do that now because the park closes at 5. But I also don't think it's as crazy still like with people. So even if you do decide to go like around 1 p.m., like I'm sure you'll do most of the rides.
Not
How
really.
much does a day in Universal cost? Like how much
like
is
90?
the pass?
Maybe like $100 to $90, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for both parks?
No, one. Just one.
Just one?
Chris is coming.
No, Disney, they're just fucking geniuses, dude.
Well, it's Universal Islands.
Yeah, people are gonna buy this pass and be like, "Oh shit, we can go unlimited times." They're gonna pay that 150, and then
go like
they're
once.
Go once and they'll never go back. They're like, "Oh damn, I can't make it that time." So those people are gonna pay 150 and just
like.
Disney's so smart, dude.
Well, that's Universal.
Universal.
Not Disney.
This guy.
Oh, Universal. Because we're talking about Disney and fucking.
And
Can you tell he's a
Universal.
non-Floridian?
Universal is so smart.
It's
Chris, were you
Oh.
bought out by Disney too?
whatever.
I don't think it's about being smart. I just think that these dudes understand that it's a pandemic and people are not gonna just be willing to go out there. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got to take a L somewhere.
That's not telling you the truth because this week or last week during the Labor Day weekend, like Universal got shut down because like they were overpacked. Because they were supposed to follow the guidelines of having like 50 capacity of what you're allowed to have in the park, and actually they were exceeding that and having more people come in. That like the whole, I guess the city had to shut them down and like prevent.
That
people
is
from coming
interesting
in.
now that I think about it, because how do you control, like if all of us buy the tickets today
Yeah.
and then we just all decide to show up on Tuesday, are they not going to let some of us in?
First come, first serve.
That's kind of crazy.
Yep. That's the bad thing about it.
Driving 3 hours to see if we're going to make it,
Yeah, that's
if we're going to be let in the gate.
That's right.
Man.
It's like you had to make it
Hell
early.
no.
You gotta get there
my
early.
god.
Yeah, but it's so funny when people are like, you got to make it early. Like, everybody's thinking the same way.
Oh, yeah. That's-
Everybody's like, we got to get there early. So we about to get there. It's going to be Yeezy lines till Disneyland. And then Disney's going to be like, we're open.
Since we were on the topic of Texas,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Rogan started doing his first couple episodes in Texas, and he has a whole new setup, and people are trashing his whole new setup.
Really?
And I am one of those people because that shit is trash, dog.
But sorry, this is
I
a
thought it
podcast?
was, yeah.
Why are people even tripping about that?
Yeah, it's
No, because first of all, because
you get video.
everyone
on YouTube.
misses. Yeah, he has videos on YouTube with him doing it. So, well, first because the last setup was just so like comfortable and we're so
Iconic.
used to it and stuff like that. So seeing the new one is just so different, and the new one is so different. It's shot in 60 FPS. So like it just looks like odd, and it's not shot in like 24 or like 30 when it usually is, and like people are just like they don't feel comfortable with it and they don't really like it. I was trying to see if you guys have seen it and what
I
you guys
haven't
think
seen
of
it yet, but I've seen his old stuff. I'm just trying to figure out like how bad, like what about the setup could be so bad that like it's taking people back like that.
You
Like,
gotta look at it, man.
So-
It's fucking weird, dude.
So Joe used to shoot in the back of his crib, was it?
yeah,
Was
it was something like that. I remember that.
I'm
and
pretty
he had
sure it
like
was
the
at a
American flag
Yeah.
And he had like a long ass table. I
Yeah,
just
the
think people
screen.
got used. I mean, he did that for 11 years, though. You know what I'm saying? So like, people just got used to that visual,
Yeah.
and they associated that podcast with that setting. It's literally the complete. It looks like a red
Rocket
jet
ship.
tent. Yeah, it's like a. I honestly thought it was Photoshop. Like when
Yeah.
when
I thought it was green
turned it
screen.
on. Yeah, when I turned it on, I thought they were both in green screens, because like you said, I guess the frame rate made it look odd, like they were in front of something. But then when they did the long shot, then you're like, oh, this is like actual a whole place. But I don't care what the fuck. I'm there for the content. I'm not there for like, you know, the visuals. Like, I don't know why people really trip and trade.
It
This
just
is it?
look.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, see, there it looks fire.
Yeah,
It's like a
there it looks fine.
spaceship.
No, there it looks cool. But when you're actually watching the video itself, it looks so fucking weird.
I think it's because
Oh,
of the close up shots.
It
Yeah, I
is.
think those are the shots.
Look at that. It looks like green screen, pretty much.
Right.
It looks like
Yeah, but
like they're in a spaceship or something.
It's definitely very different. I don't
Very.
think it'll take away from it, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
people get used to it.
No.
Yeah,
Joe Rogan
it's-
is the
it's
best,
very different.
100%. But like,
Yeah, in a month, everybody will be over it.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
I think people are just.
I
hyped.
think, yeah, people are just so thrown off because it's so different.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That last setup, dog, it's too. You just feel like you're at home.
Well, like
Yeah,
I said,
like
11 years worth of.
Yeah.
Nobody likes change.
Right.
But they also look cramped in there. Is it just me? They look like
I
like
think
it's
Joe Rogan
way
is
smaller.
hunched
I think it's the
with
colors.
the thing.
The colors too. Like it's maybe too red.
Yeah, it's odd.
They look like
No, but it is a way smaller. It's literally less than half of the old studio, because when you see the wide shot, like the TV's right there, and the old studio, that fucking table
yeah.
went on for like
look,
another room.
They do
type shit.
look cramped in here.
Joe Rogan looks like he's hunching with the thing,
Yeah.
so it doesn't hit
The
his
arc
back.
of the temple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Joe Rogan though, like you said, legendary pod god.
Oh, God.
But yeah,
Joe
it does
Rogan-
look different. It
Joe
looks
Rogan
weird.
moved to Texas probably for most of the reasons why Disneyland is moving to Texas.
Well, a lot of people. He's been telling a lot of people to move to Texas, and a lot of people.
Where was he before? He was in Cali.
Yeah.
A lot of his friends are like a lot of his normal people, like Joey Diaz or like Duncan Trussell and all those people. They're moving. One is moving back to Jersey, Joey Diaz, and the other one's moving to Utah. They're just like they said like most of their friends like they're over LA, and like it's just so cramped, and there's so many people that they don't feel comfortable, and all like the rules they've put in for COVID, they like
Right.
just feel so restrictive. So they were like,
Yeah, so
gotta get the
let's
fuck
stay on
outta
there
here.
for a second. So somebody put Joe Rogan and the Joe Budden podcast, they pointed this out, and I agree with it. So people move to Cali, people move to New York for specific networking opportunities and assets, and you pay taxes to be around those opportunities, right?
yeah,
So when you take them away and there's a capacity, the pandemic won't even let you go there, then why should we stay here and pay
and
for
pay all
the
that.
assets that we're not eligible of doing? So Texas may be a place that's the COVID numbers are probably way less than they are in Cali. Like you said, like
Cheaper.
now other
Yeah, it's
businesses
more
are cheaper. Maybe other businesses, like you said, like Disney is like looking at it too. Like, well, COVID numbers are low here. Land is probably cheaper here than
Bro,
anywhere
so
else.
cheap in Texas.
So it's interesting, and I didn't realize till they called it that, like, you know, we live in these because most of us lived in New York or Cali or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't realize that I'm like, yeah, why do we pay so much here, or whatever? And it is for the opportunities, you know, the clubs there, the improv is there, the restaurants are here, the studios are there. But if like you're not allowing us to go to these places, obviously because you know the COVID, that we really shouldn't be paying the same that we were paying, you know, as if they were open. So I can definitely see people like making that move to a different state.
Yeah, I heard
I'm
it.
chilling
A
here.
lot of people are moving, like regular civilians, because it is like you said, they are paying a lot during these times, and like there's like whole like bunch of blocks that are like just people have left their apartments and stuff like that.
Right.
LA is so fucking expensive, man.
That's
If you're I don't even know how to say it, because like if you go there with a dream, obviously you're gonna fight, but that shit is just, it's too much money. What you can get in Texas for what you pay for in Cali is insane. So,
and also, all of us here love entertainment and would like to be part of it some way, somehow. Obviously, we're doing a podcast. But it is crazy to like, yo, like Florida became just as important as Cali as far as entertainment industry. Georgia, Atlanta became just as popping. New York is still a good spot. So it's like the dream that they sold you to move to Cali. Like, I wanted to move to Cali. Maybe I'll do it one day for a year, but not for like a long-term stay. But now I don't feel like I need to go there because I feel like I could get the same opportunities or more here where I'm at too. So I think Cali's also losing that thing that it had where it's like, well, over there the labels are there. Well, over there the TV productions are over there. I was like, oh, they're in Atlanta now too. They're in Florida still, and New York is still there. So it's going to be interesting in the next couple, I guess, the decade, and see how things, people move around in the country and stuff. All right, so getting a little bit back to music from the Travis Scott topic, I'm just going to run through a couple of things that have been going on in the music industry. Let me know if you guys have heard of it or if you have any thoughts of it, but just quickly running through it. So Usher just signed a residency in Vegas. I thought this was interesting because I didn't think Usher was out here like that. And it starts July 16th of 2021. And this is also interesting because they're assuming that by that time everything's gonna be fine. That's kind of crazy to make a July. I mean, yeah, it's like less than a year away, but I just think it's definitely weird to make residencies and stuff like that, like with not new acts, but to sign a new act to the residency without really knowing. Maybe I guess in the clause in the contract there's probably like a whole bunch of
for sure,
ifs and buts or whatever. But it starts July 16th, 2021, in a place that holds 4,300 seats. Will they have capacity there? I don't know. I guess they're going to play that by the time it gets there. And I don't want to say the only good thing, because Usher is a great artist, but he's one of those artists that you're kind of like, he did his thing back in the day, and now I'm kind of whatever.
It makes sense why he signed a residency. Yeah.
That, and I think where this is attractive, or at least to like people my age or older, it's going to be revolved around his whole career. So if you go, you're going to get the hits from back in the day.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a reminisce type of concert. So I think that'll be the driving point. So it's not like he's going to be releasing new shit and only doing the new stuff, how like tours usually are. So it'll be like a legacy act performance, I guess you would say.
Like J-Lo. J-Lo had a residency in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would, well.
You see, but J-Lo's a performer. Usher he's a great vocalist, but he don't really do nothing on stage that like J-Lo or some shit would do. So
yeah, but Usher has too many classes. People will go and they'll tune in. So that's good for him. I want to add to what you were saying, where like they're assuming that we'll be open. I just earlier this afternoon I was watching the Impulsive, and he had 6ix9ine on, and they started talking about like touring and stuff like that. And 6ix9ine was saying like he's already talking to people in Europe about dates and stuff like that. So like these people are I guess they're moving on. I guess they have to be optimistic.
Right.
Like if you're running a business or something, like you gotta get shit moving just in case like something happens or it opens. You gotta start hustling. So I guess they're just looking out for the future.
Yeah, I think the contracts are never gonna be funny. Like you could potentially get this if so. It's like money that you can't even really count on or like spend before you get type shit, because it might not even really get there.
Yeah.
But staying with 6ix9ine, he dropped the album a couple of days ago. It's called Tattletales, which is fucking hilarious. I haven't heard it, and I won't, and I'm not going to, only because 2 records that he's dropped after Gooba, which was the first one that he dropped after jail, have been records that he is trying to make music on. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, why I like 6ix9ine is because it's energetic, it's funny, comedic type of like rap, and I think I don't take it serious. But I feel like the last 2 records that he's been releasing, I feel like he's trying to now make records that are serious, and that's where you're gonna lose me because I write music. So now I'm gonna have to start criticizing you like I criticize a lot of other people, and now I can't even like have fun with your music. Because in the last record he had Black China like on the video, like you can hear on the hook there's a reference track playing, which is a whole nother guy like spitting the hook. So it's like, okay, you clearly have this written for you, like this was written for you. And now that I know that, and you're trying to make hits, now you're trying, and you're gonna lose me here because now people used to go, well, his music isn't that good, and I didn't really, but I wasn't backing that till now, because now I feel like he's trying to make good music or trying to do what other people are doing, and that's where you're gonna lose me because he wasn't doing that before. So I feel like he needs to see how he plays out the next couple of records. But he dropped the whole album, but I'm not gonna sit there and go through that.
You won't listen to it?
Yeah, because the last 2 records were. What was one of them a Spanish one?
I think he has one in Spanish.
Nah, he's dropped like 4 or 5 records since he's gotten out. I think the last 2, one he shot in New York, when he got out, and then the second one was with Black China. And,
I don't like those records.
So lucky for you, John. Since you didn't hear it, I heard it for you. And you know me, I'm usually with you, or like we like 6ix9ine because of that energetic stuff. Dog, this album was so bad. It was so bad. I don't know if it was worse because I just heard Big Sean's album previously, and I was very impressed by that. So after hearing that, like you said, he is trying to make like real music now. It's not as much as hype as he always usually is. And like he like redid Locked Up with Akon, and it's so bad, dude. Like and Akon redid his verse for that song. Like you can hear that he re-sung that whole part. It's just like, dude, like Akon, what are you doing, man?
There was a video of them like do it in the studio, but I didn't know if it was gonna become a real track.
It's the first song.
It's the first song, and it's fucking awful. I mean, it's funny because of the idea of it,
right.
But it's so bad, and like there's only like 1 or 2 of the songs that we might like for hype in that album, but other than that, like it's unlistenable, dude. It's so bad.
Yeah,
I listened to it. I felt like the first single, obviously, that he came out with is like the best one. I do feel it is, to me, I felt kind of like it was rushed, maybe. That's how it came out for me. Like, there's only, I think, 10 or 11 songs on it, and like they're very short, all of them. And
he usually does that though.
Yeah,
they're usually short records.
But I don't know. For me, I did feel like it was kind of like kind of rushed, because I heard he has like 2 other projects that he's working on too.
He signed to a 10K. It's called 10K Records. He signed like a 3 album deal.
So I don't know if this was like his way of like releasing this just to get on that, stuff like that. But
no, I think he thinks this was good.
Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely does.
I think remember, he can't really rap about what he used to rap about, so he has to switch it up.
I get that too. Like, since he can't rap about certain situations or certain things that he did in the past, like it's gonna be different type of music.
Right.
Right now he's just mainly capitalizing on like what he did. He even titled the album like that and stuff like that. But I kind of feel bad for him. Like, I don't know, because I see like people are not trying to put him on things, even though he is making the numbers.
So that's another thing. So he's tight. And I get it, because the DSPs, which is streaming platforms, aren't promoting his albums on their homepage, on their browse page, and that's fucked up because everybody should get a fair shot. Like he doesn't even care that he's not like the number one, thing you see, but you can't even see him at all unless you like search for him. And that's kind of fucked up because it's like, did all streaming platforms all of a sudden like just agree to do that? That's weird because Apple has nothing to do with Spotify. Spotify has nothing to do with Pandora. So it is interesting to just see like we're gonna decide to not put this dude's face on our streaming platform.
You don't think maybe, and obviously I don't know how this shit works, so I could be speaking out of my ass, but you don't think maybe this is because like maybe the hype with him has died down a little bit, so they're not really like trying to.
Nah, it doesn't really have to do with hype. There's a lot of politics behind it for sure.
Yeah, I think it's more on that. It's more on the politics side because he's making the numbers, so the numbers should be up there. Like he should be on the charts.
Recently, that said like it wasn't making numbers like that. Like his album.
Well, because of what they're doing to him. Like, I mean, Gooba had like what 200 million streams. That's more than the Tootsie Slide. Like that record did its thing, but he's saying that because his album isn't exposed in the homepage, dude, he was supposed to do like 120 to 150 album sales, and now he's due 45 to 50K album sales. That's like a huge deficit. You know what I'm saying? So it is going to be interesting because now he's going to have to start switching it up. So what does he do? Like, how is he going to approach the industry now? Who is he going to talk to? How much money is he probably going to have to spend potentially because of the politics? So this is going to be interesting to see how he evolves from this situation. But I do think it's fucked up that streaming platform, because streaming platforms don't give a fuck who's hype or who did what. They just care about money. So if his streams are there showing you the analytics, then what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Was it because he exposed billboards? But what does billboard have to do with, like, you know, Apple or Spotify? Like, that part is confusing. So I guess we just got to wait to things get more revealed, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, his lifestyle, he's going to have to switch up, dog, because the security that he has with him probably costs like 45 to 50K like to keep around. So if you're going to do that in album sales, you're going to need more money ASAP. So he's going to have to either switch up his whole gimmick or, you know, become more likable so he doesn't have to fear for his life.
Yeah, but if he would do that, I feel you won't even like him at all. Because if you liked him how he came out like that.
Well, don't get me fucked up. I don't mean that I liked the troll version of him. I just like the energy behind it. I didn't like that he was talking about what he was talking about. I don't care what he talks about. I just like the style of the sound stylistically. But when he's like slowing it down with the trip like this, everybody want my swag. Everybody like, okay, no, I can't do that. Like compared to the shot. Like it's a whole different vibe. Like. But so there's a couple other topics here, but let's just get to this one. Kendrick Lamar. So people are going crazy because I guess there's a picture that's like circulating of him like by a payphone, and obviously Kendrick hasn't posted anything in like 3 to 4 years, so you already know everybody's like, oh album or whatever. So there is no confirmation. This is obviously just an assumption. So, but it looks like we should be gearing up for some type of Kendrick Lamar content, which definitely makes me feel good because we definitely need it.
For sure,
I believe it,
especially in these times now. This guy's about to hit you with the craziest bars, the most hard hitting. I'm excited if he is dropping. I saw that picture that you're talking about, and I think he may be filming something. Like, I mean, like not like a music video. Like I think Kendrick has gone into the world of acting a little more and doing stuff like that. I think he may be acting for something. I don't know if it's a music video though. Because if it was a music video, I think he would have released like a single by now or something, at least to start getting people ready for the album.
Well,
or
you're
if
that
he's dropping
big,
something.
You don't need to get people ready. But why do you think that? I haven't seen the picture, but does it look like a cinematography of like a show?
If I remember correctly, he's in like a button up and he's just like by a payphone. I don't know. I just felt, I didn't get a music video vibe from it, but. And I know Kendrick has been in the world of shows and movies and then he just did that like thing for Kobe and like he's more into that world than music right now. So I get it more of a music like a not music video from that picture. But like I said, I feel like he would have released a single. But you did say that he doesn't need that. But I still think he would have released a single or something if he was gearing up for a project like that. Like Cole has been releasing pretty much, and I don't think Cole needs that either. Cole's been releasing like the EP, that little 2
So
song
like
EP.
I don't know how they would even know this, but like a lot of people are saying that it is a music video.
So then they
Why
must
are you
have seen
saying
like
Just a bunch of different websites are saying Kendrick seems to be shooting new music video.
Well, we've been hearing for a while now that he's definitely been working on music for a long time.
Yeah.
And maybe everybody's right. Maybe there is a TV series that there's a soundtrack for, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of those could still be possibilities, which would be cool to get a lot of Kendrick content. I'm not mad at that. It's been a very long time. So I'll take it.
Didn't Kendrick do something earlier this year? Didn't he start something? Was it like a damn? What was it? He started like a company. Jose, do you know anything about this?
I'm not sure.
I feel like I'm gonna keep going. Like
he started a brand and he made a video with like a bunch of like teenagers and like young and like kids like people our age pretty much, and like there was like there was a song attached to it that's from Kendrick. But I completely forgot what it's for. I think he like started like his own company of some like there's people like trying to like make it in the industry, helping each other out, like something like that. But I forget what the fuck that shit was, dog.
Whatever you're saying, I do. It is sparking a memory in my mind, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But I do remember hearing about it for sure.
Damn. Well, that's how long 2020 has been. We can't even remember that shit.
But it's funny because I heard like right when you hear SZA drops, you hear Kanye. I mean, not Kendrick, like right there, about to drop.
Well, that's what people are kind of like alluding even more, like the TDE camp.
Yeah.
You know, is gearing up for like their run, like Dreamville had their run. So yeah, I'm with it though. I'm down for it. We need a Kendrick project. And it's always going to be interesting to see where he goes with it. Like, you know, every time we've gotten a project, we're like assuming he's going to be his sound, and then it's like complete opposite of what we assume. So it's like, I don't want to say technically this will be his fourth, but on his fourth mainstream level, it is going to be interesting to see what he gives us and how he delivers it.
Is this the longest we've waited for a Kendrick project? When did A Good Kid, M.A.A.D City come out? 2012 or 2013?
I think either 2012 or 2011, maybe.
And then To Pimp a Butterfly, 2015 or 2016?
I think every 2 or 3 years.
I think I was 15. I think.
Yeah. So and then, it's around the same time because Damn came out in 2017. So.
Yeah, but we usually get features and stuff like that.
Well, he did release the Black Panther soundtrack 2018.
But that wasn't his. That was like a. Was it his?
Yeah, he was like the whole.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, he was in charge of it.
But it wasn't like his album. Yeah.
I mean, they said it was his, but he kind of just.
He's like in every song.
That album's fire.
But yeah, Chris, as far as like his solo stuff goes, that it's 3 years is the longest wait because like Good Kid to Pimp Butterfly was 3 years, and then this is another 3 years.
I think maybe the pandemic and everything that's happened this year maybe kind of threw him off. Maybe.
No,
not that it matters.
I've been hearing that everywhere.
I know,
like
it doesn't matter, but
like
I'm pretty sure that it might have changed whatever he was working on. Like we're probably
release date wise, but not like
Well, I mean, like
whatever he had done already was done. Probably.
I would assume or think that in this album we'll hear like the recent things that happened this year, stuff like that. That's what I mean.
That's what we're assuming, but
I want to date back.
He could get like 2-3 singles out that will touch on those topics and then just give us a whole album.
No, yeah, like that. It won't
John,
be. It won't be the whole thing about like this. But.
I want to date back to last podcast where we were talking about. I think it was last podcast. We were talking about the Weeknd and why he's releasing this stuff now and like why so late and it's from his album. You think maybe because he's thinking of because he couldn't tour the album because of the pandemic, obviously. You think he's just trying to get people to listen to the album again because he's assuming that he'll start touring again?
Or remember, the last podcast was not why or why is it late. It's nobody's paying attention to it as much as people should. But yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, people, you drop content to revive something. So for sure, like we said, though, I think we probably hit it on the head, dog. I think people just didn't connect to that album as much. So people are not really, because he's, by the way, still dropping new shit. Since that podcast, he's dropped another thing.
For real?
Yeah, and like, again, I haven't checked it out. I don't really know nobody else checking it out. Any music platforms that I watch or hear, they're not talking about it. So yeah, so I just feel bad because I'm sure it's good. The Weeknd's not bad at all. I don't know.
His performance at the VMAs was pretty dope.
Yeah, but low key, I am kind of now over that look, like that.
The beat
character,
up red suit.
The character, yeah. I'm kind of like, okay, I don't think this worked out as good as you thought it was going to, so we can give it up now. Like,
I think he can't because he's probably, like Chris said, like that's supposed to be his next tour type thing.
He got to keep it up. Unfortunately, he has to keep that up to the next tour.
However, if the records aren't hitting as good as they thought and the numbers aren't there,
but the numbers
he might not tour. The numbers are there, yeah, but numbers are there. You can have numbers and then numbers to tour are two completely different things. Like, you can hear an album however many times, but to go and come see the album is a whole different ticket to sell.
I get that, but I'm saying like he's like, what is it, like last week he reached like 1 billion streams on his top song from this album.
1 billion streams from this album. What song was it?
I think the Heart, was it Heartless? Or Heart?
Oh, okay.
It has to be Blinding Lights.
No, it's the first one he released.
I think.
Yeah, but like I said, those are different, dog. Because the same, he could have 100 million listeners, and if everybody plays it a couple times, it'll be that thing. But for you to come see, I would go off of my visuals. Like, if my numbers are if nobody's talking about it, my visuals aren't up there, then you have to start to be like, well, if I go on tour, you have to think about the venue. How big or how small is it going to have to be, because I need to fill this up. Who would show up? And not only do you have to take that pandemic into consideration, you got to be real about your product as well at the same time. I don't think
nobody is touring till next year, like September. Around there.
And then by that time, people will be over record.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. You to have a year plus on the same look is kind of like tiring. And
that's for everybody. Yeah. Everybody would have to new projects, new records.
It is weird. I don't know. That's weird too. It'll be interesting to see how they're all gonna do it, because like that goes with every artist. Like Billie Eilish, she was supposed to have her tour that got canceled. Justin Bieber, so like to go again, how their past album to go again with that tour. Mm-hmm. But it is interesting because like Justin Bieber, he did his thing, but he's not trying to like redo or like.
I wouldn't tour that album either. That album didn't impact as good as he probably thought it would hit. So I don't think he'll probably get the girls out there, like all the little fans. But so still a music topic. Obviously, a lot of music came out since the last time we were on here. The Detroit 2 album came out. Big Sean, how do you guys feel about it? How many times have you heard it? Did it meet expectations, or like what are your overall thoughts?
My overall thoughts on it, I thought it was a great album. There are maybe like 2 or 3 songs that I really can't like fuck with, because they're just not my style. I'm not really that much of like R&B, and like they're usually like the songs with like Jenny Aiko and like those type of songs. But every other songs where he had to actually rap, and like I thought the production was fire. I thought his rapping was fire. I thought that cipher at the end, and like I just, what's funny is I think about this album like I think about every Big Sean album. Like I have like a handful of songs that I will definitely go back to, and then there's just those songs that are good but I probably won't go back to. So that's why I want to know your opinion, because I know you're expecting huge things from this album. So I really want to know what you think of it.
Well, let's hear Manny's thoughts, because I'm sure he'll express some of the same sentiments.
Yeah. I mean, you call it a great album. I don't think it's a great album. I do think it's a pretty good album. Like I listened to it once, top to bottom. Then I just kind of been having it on shuffle for the last few days. And there's songs that like maybe I didn't like a lot at first that kind of grew on me like over time, and the opposite. You zen the fuck out. When I first heard it, I was like, this is dope, and then the more I heard it, I was like, I think I'm good without it. All in all, I like the project. Is it a classic? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Is it like as good as an album as Big Sean owes us? Probably not, but I do think it is a decent album. You know what I mean? Like for me to like even want to go back to it like a second or third time, like I think says a lot. To put it in perspective, like the Logic album, I went back to one more time and I didn't go back to it after that. You know what I mean? With this album, I've already ran it a few times. There's a couple bars he had in there that actually impressed me, and nowadays that shit is fucking rare. So
I saw you post one on your IG story. I saw you.
Bro, I love that bar, dog. God said, "Let there be light," and made Sean. I was like, bruh, that shit was hard. I fucked with that really good. So, just little things like that, man. That one song that he has, I think he made the video for it, Lithuania, with Travis Scott. That was another one that, like, for whatever reason, when I heard it the first time, I didn't fuck with it. And I know what it was. I heard it like in my AirPods, and then it came on when it was the whip, and I was like, "Oh no, this is hitting different."
I agree. So, I 100% agree, man.
Yeah. So and now after listening to it in the whip, I go back to that song. You know what I mean? So definitely fuck with it.
I also like the skits.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like Detroit one like had like skits like that too, and I loved the concept. So the fact that he brought it back, the only thing I wish is that like maybe with the exception of Dave Chappelle, I wish like it was more relevant people. No disrespect to Stevie Wonder, no disrespect to Erykah Badu.
Goddamn respect.
I love Erykah Badu, you know what I mean? No disrespect to her. But like the last one, like he had Snoop, he had Jeezy like talking about Detroit, and I'm like, bro, like where was this for this album? Like you're surrounded by good people. Like what's up? You know what I mean? So I wish you would have done that.
Listen, man, those are some legends you're talking about.
I know,
good
but
people.
like
Stevie Wonder.
I know, bro. I'm not hating on Stevie Wonder, but what was the last Stevie Wonder song you heard, Chris? Like, come on.
I listen to Stevie Wonder at least.
Oh, really? In the last 5 years?
I swear to God,
what song of his has come out that you knew?
Bunch of haters.
But yeah, like if you would have thrown like even like he has beef with Kendrick, or he had, because he actually kind of squashed it in this album, so I thought that was pretty good. But when Big Sean sticks to like his real like, talking about his inner demons and shit he dealt with, like that's his fucking zone, dog. You know what I mean? And he really stuck to that in this album, and for that, I'm giving him all the props for that.
Yeah, I enjoyed this album. I listened to it probably like 2 or 3 times. The third time, I went through like a list of seeing what songs I like really liked. I probably came out liking maybe 3 or 4 songs. Like I put on like my playlist that I listen to all the time. I really like mostly the features he's got, like the Post Malone song. I like that one. The one Lil Wayne, and the one with Wale was pretty good. Those I feel like those maybe I thought it was gonna be more of a concept album type, because like the skits and stuff like that, but like it was just those 3 skits alone, and other than that, without that, it's just the songs. The Cypher, I thought it could have been better. I didn't really fuck with it. Just like maybe 2 people, but
Eminem's part at the end.
Yeah, I like Big Sean's part. His part was good, but everybody else, like the 20 other people he had, I didn't care for.
Well, he got all of Detroit on there.
I think the pacing of it is kind of what threw it off for me. Like, I just couldn't keep up with it.
It didn't connect. Like they were trying to. I get what he was doing. He was
and it felt like
Detroit.
It felt like it was a cipher. Like it was called the cipher. But it didn't feel like a cipher. Like it felt like guys were taking turns going to the booth, rapping on different beats, and I'm like, this isn't a cipher.
Everybody did have like their own beat or something like that. Like in the beginning, it was cool because they sampled Pharrell's beat, classic beat, the clips, but then it just switched
in a weird way.
Yeah. But then it just switched to another beat and then another beat, so it just was off there. But I feel like this is one of his good albums that I've heard from a while. Like, I can't remember the last good album I think that he had that I liked a lot was probably maybe like the third album he did. I think
Dark Paradise.
Yeah, and
I
like
decided.
no, I think
it's
Dark Paradise, but that's some songs that I liked from that album. But other than that, I feel like this was a well put together project.
You heard it, Asio?
Nope. No thoughts.
No thoughts.
I also the Travis Scott song he did, the video, I like that. I saw that he mixed in some scenes like The Shining, like the first half of the music video is like some scenes from The Shining. I like that he did that.
I haven't seen the music video. I gotta watch.
It's pretty cool.
I think I like this more. Why I say it's a great album, because honestly these days I'm not really listening to a lot of rap. So when I do go back to rap and it's even pretty good, like, or decently good, because we're just flooded with bullshit nowadays. I'm just like thank God we got like fucking something decent. So like that's why I would say it's a great album, because we're flooded with so much stuff. It's like it's a breath of fresh air pretty much. Yeah, that's also why I really like the Logic album too.
It's funny that Manny brought that up. The Logic, not comparison, but Detroit 2. So Detroit 1 is still Big Sean's best body of work.
No,
like, that did not change with Detroit 2. Detroit 2, I think, is Big Sean's best attempt to making a good album. If this was Big Sean's second album off of the Finally Famous 3, I would have been really excited about what was coming out, in Big Sean's catalog. I think it's a good album. But I think, Chris, where we start to like really define good is like replay value. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many records are we really gonna go back to? Now, I'm only speaking off one listen. I'm sure you guys either heard it once or maybe twice. I don't think there's a. Let me not say that. I was gonna say I don't think there's a trash record on here. Like, I think every record was thought out. It was like sequenced right. Production really good. Production visually great. Human Nature video is crazy. The Shining tribute one is pretty good. The Harder Than My Demons video is crazy. Like, whoever his videographer is, like, he's paying some money, and like they're really talented. So that is exciting. On the Human Nature record, I love that record so much. I was waiting for Wayne to spaz. I don't even think he really spazzed.
He really didn't, dog.
I think he was just skating. You know what I'm saying? And it was such a Wayne beat, dog. It was such
a,
like...
I thought the same shit. When the beat started, I was like, "Oh no, Wayne's got to kill this." And then Wayne just gave me the most like.
Yeah, like, it was cool. It was
like mediocre shit. I was like, bro, I don't think it was bad, but it was like, no, you could have went so much harder on this.
It was mediocre.
Yeah, like Human Nature sample, dog. The fact that
I love
was
that
even
sample.
Yes, the song itself is good. You know what I mean? Big Sean does really good on it. I think.
Yeah, I'm looking through the track list. I don't think there's a trash record on here. I think this is a good album. Probably top 3 in his discography. But it didn't meet my expectations, and it didn't make me feel. It was like, all right, Sean, I see you. That's what it made me do. Like, all right, you took your time on this one. This was more cohesive than the rest of your albums. Like, I'm rolling with you. So I'll give him that. Visuals are great, like I said. Yeah, the Cypher shit was weird. Like, the way that Hit Boy produced, like you said, like cutting in between beats, like. It almost sounded like the rappers just did what they did, and then he like produced around the beats, which is weird. It would have been, and I also didn't want to sit there through 10 minutes of people I don't know or really care about. Royce, the 5'9", did his thing. Eminem did his thing as well.
Big Sean too.
Big Sean did his thing because he rapped on there like 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna go back to it. I'll probably listen to it 2 more times. one more time to like get my final critique of it. One more time after that to like feel it, but I don't think I'll go back to it after that. And I think the Logic album has probably more replay value than this album for sure.
No, yeah.
I was
And
gonna.
I haven't even. Go ahead.
I was gonna say with this one, I feel with this Big Sean album, I know it's kind of weird, but I feel like there's not one song on here that was like bigger than all of them, like how he always had with every other album. If you know what I mean, like the hit.
Zen the Fuck Out could have probably been the one that like a single. Like if he would have done that.
Wolves is definitely probably the most potential because it has Post Malone. And it kind of has that mainstream feel. Wolves.
Nah, I think the only one that might maybe do it is the one with Lil Wayne.
Mainstream single?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's a rap beat.
I was gonna say Lithuania, but that actually came out.
I think that's why he got Post Malone on the album. I think he was expecting for that one to become a single.
Wolves.
Yeah, it's a good song.
I think it's a good album. Congrats to him. He's been getting a lot of recognition for it. Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it for sure. Yeah. I've been still rolling with Detroit, the first one, dog.
You're still waiting on that album.
Untouchable.
On a good.
I don't think I'm gonna get it now for sure. I don't think I'm gonna get it for sure. Because this definitely seemed like the one that he would have. Because
it's like you said. It's like you said. Detroit is his best project. So like for Detroit 2 to be an album, you would think this is the one that's like holy shit, Sean. Like,
but I think that he thinks that this is the one. You know what I'm saying? So like
for
it's
what it's
preference.
worth, Big Sean, I fucked with it. Big Sean, for what it's worth.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. I think it tells us where he's at. I think the production on a lot of records are pretty good. I think his bars weren't mediocre. I think what I'm saying.
So they were pretty decent, and that's where I go. Like when I was comparing it to the Logic album, that's where like my taste kind of comes in because I like more of like the lyrical shit. So like when I was hearing that on this one, I'm like, I heard there's a lot more on this one than on Sean.
Imagine Big Sean on the beats that Logic was fucking rapping on. That shit would have been crazy.
That would have been wild. That would have been insane.
Because I feel like there was attempts of those type of productions on the Big Sean albums, but they weren't hitting as hard as the Logic shit. Yeah. But Logic is also a producer, so.
Do you know who produced this album?
A lot of it was Hit Boy. You hear his tag like all over the records. A lot of it. He's
working on everything.
Oh yeah, he's rolling right now. And this is gonna be a conversation for another day, but we need to sit down and really talk about Hit Boy.
I feel like I don't know. He's taking jabs at Kanye or something. Like,
oh well, then my take is about to be way more aggressive than I wanted it to be because and you just reminded me of something. Thank you, but yeah, I'm gonna keep listening, but we're gonna have a serious conversation about Hit Boy soon because he's getting a lot of praise and he's getting a lot about great things, but I haven't sat there and go, that beat is stupid. That beat is blah blah blah, and it's like, all right, let's not. If we're talking about Kanye now you're gonna get me hot for real, because I was already feeling like that before, and so to put that, I'm still. I only heard the Nas album still once. I haven't gone back to it, but maybe like one or two songs. I was like, yo, this beat is cool, but he did the whole album. Big Sean, he probably did like 7 records, 8 on here. 1 or 2 of them, I was like, oh, this is actually a good beat. Like, he's not producing shit that I'm impressed by, but other people seem to be. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, or I don't know. Especially if we're going to start talking about Kanye West, which is a great transition, Chris. Thank you for telling me. Kanye has done 2 interviews. He did 1 interview with Nick Cannon recently, split into 2. I'm sure there's going to be a 3rd one. Yeah. I would suggest to go watch it, not only because we're Kanye fans, but he isn't spazzing out. He isn't saying crazy shit. So for those who are worried about
but
that,
if you watch it, you got to put up with Nick Cannon. So is it really worth it?
No.
Is it really worth it?
If Nick Cannon can get a word off, boy, Kanye talks his ear off. Man.
I saw it. I was impressed. Like they did a pretty good job. Like
you saw both?
Yeah, they did. Like their chemistry was there.
My bad, Jose. There was one with Nick Cannon, and what was the
other? It's one thing split in 2.
Oh, it's split in 2. Okay.
You could tell once the first video came out, you were like, okay, they definitely cut this off.
But it was
Like,
it's pretty good. Like it's you see because I even think that Kanye invited Nick Cannon to like his wherever he's located at, and
Wyoming.
he just set up there. So like it felt like he was more comfortable like with answering questions, being funny, cracking jokes, and just like saying what he says. But like he did a pretty good job in that interview. That we haven't seen him in a long time like that.
I only saw the first one, but like that shit, like just watching it like gave me hope.
Second one's better.
Second one's better. All right, I'll watch the second one maybe later tonight. But it like gave me hope that like when Kanye's not put in a pressured situation and not in front of a camera that he doesn't feel or is forced to be in front of, that he can put a coherent
or being antagonized to say something.
He can put a coherent sentence together. He can stick to a topic. Kind of. he can stick to a topic. But he's not fucking going crazy. He's not saying stupid shit. He knows what he's saying, and you can see that like with like a Jimmy Kimmel interview or something else, he has those long pauses and he has to sit there and like really think about it. Like shit was just flowing.
Yeah.
He looked good. What he was saying made sense, and I'm excited to see the second one because I was excited to see Kanye like that.
Yeah, the second one's better. Now I will say this. I wouldn't recommend to go watch it for new information. Like he didn't really expose any new things. He did, but not that we already kind of are not aware of. This is just more to recognize his state and how at peace he seemed.
Yeah.
And it is funny though because he did get a lot of jokes off with Cannon. But so in the second one he says this, and this is why I wanted to bring it. So Hit Boy, get the fuck out of here when we talk about grown man shit. Nah, this man Kanye said, "Nah, you can't talk to me if you didn't do Dark Fantasy, Watch the Throne, Good Fridays in 12 fucking months."
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that shit came back to back to back like that, dog. Like when he was bringing them off, I was like, classic. And then they kind of was like, yeah, those are classics. And he's like, no. They're in the same 12 months these were released. So now you already thought I was in love with Kanye. This shit just even turned it up a notch because I didn't really peep game that it was that back to back to back. For anybody to do that, like, yeah, you can't talk to my dog.
And the next project was what? Was
Cruel Summer. That's
Summer?
what he was talking about.
Yeah, Cruel Summer. Oh my god.
And he actually mentioned he was like, you can't talk to me if you haven't done Cruel Summer, Watch the Throne, Dark Fantasy, and Good Fridays. And somebody had the nerve to tell me that Cruel Summer was trash. And he was like, well, do you have a Mercy on your album? I was like Kanye was getting his shit off on this one, which I like to see.
Can you imagine someone telling you Cruel Summer is trash? Oh my god.
I actually was not a fan of Cruel Summer.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
But that's but the reason why
is anybody.
Yeah, but the reason why is because I'm just not a fan of like compilation albums. Period. Though, to be honest, like that's really what it is, and it does have songs that I like, a few songs that I like, but
that's what I was gonna say, man. Yeah. It's one of those that if you go look at the track list again, you'll be like, wait, these records were hard. You know what I'm saying? So like,
like the big records I love, and even some of the songs that were just on there, like I really fuck with.
Maybe one miss on that album. Maybe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that every time we told Manny to go look back at an album, he always forgets like how much fire there is on it, and then he always comes back next podcast.
All right, I'm looking at this track list right now.
I forgot that was on there.
All right, you got To the World, first record, R. Kelly, Tiana Taylor,
canceled.
Great record. Click, Big Sean, Jay-Z, Kanye West. Mercy, we know. New Godflow, Pusha T.
No.
These are the first 4 records. These are all great records. The Morning with Raekwon, that's probably one of the. It's a good song, but it's not as probably as good as the first 4.
I'm
Cold, number 6. Wait, I forgot about that record. That's another good record.
Get the Theraflu.
Right. Higher, Pusha T, Mace, The Dream.
Fire.
Sin City, Travis Scott, John Legend, Tiana Taylor. The One. I don't remember The One. Kanye West, Big Sean, 2 Chainz.
That's a re-listen to this.
I don't
Creepers with Kid Cudi.
That's a great Cudi song.
Bliss with John Legend, Tiana Taylor. Great fucking record. And Don't Like Kanye and
Oh my
Chief
god.
Keef.
Come on, man.
Nah, this album low key might be a classic album.
No, not low key. That's a fucking classic, dog. Cruel Summer.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris. Like, I'm not surprised Manny feels the way he does because people don't really talk about Cruel Summer, and I don't think they talk about it because the records. I just think that they don't realize the records that are on there.
Yeah.
Because I just named 12 records and maybe one or two are like cool records, but 10 out of 12 records.
That's a classic. Come on. That's classic.
And again, in the same span of the other classic shit.
2012.
Crazy, dog. So before anybody speaks about Kanye West, if you don't have any of that in your catalog, we can't hear you, dog. Sorry.
That's facts. Damn, I gotta watch that interview now. I want to see him name off those fucking.
Yeah, when he said that shit, he's like, no, in 12 months. I was like, God, this man's a genius.
In the first one, he was like, I think Nick Cannon brought up one of his songs, and I think Kanye produced it or something. Fuck, what'd he say?
Nick Cannon, he was like, that's my best record. And he's like, every record I produce for somebody is their best record.
It's their best record. It's too funny.
Well, Maddie, look at this. Cannon, he's trying to be slick. He like laid it up for Kanye to say it, and it worked because they were talking about Black History Month, and Cannon was like, "Yeah, like you said on that record, I don't need Black History. I don't need Black History every day. I don't need a month. I make what did he say?
I make Black History every day.
I don't need a month." Yeah. And then Kanye goes, "You gave me that line." He's like, "Yeah, I wanted you to say it." So there you go, Doc. Nick Cannon, fool, with the bars. Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Kanye said that. Cannon said that he's ghostwritten for Kanye before.
What song did he say that?
That was brand new.
I don't need a stunt.
Brand new.
That was brand new.
How does that go? The rest of that go?
I don't need a month, baby. The survey says by the streets of Corden, Kanye just important as Michael Jordan was to the NBA as he was scoring. Ralph Lauren was born before I wore him. Nah, that shit, that's a hard ass.
That's a different level. That's a different level. I forgot about that. That's what. What's his name?
Rhymefest.
Yeah, Rhymefest. Yeah. Wow, I love that album. I love that verse.
I feel I've never pitied a rapper more than Rhymefest on that song, dog. It was his song. And his verse is so skippable, like especially after you hear that one, dog. Like, oh Lord.
But yo, like when he was naming that shit off, dog. Like I forget that Good Fridays was technically a tape. Like it's like they came out every week, but it is an album, and that's another like crazy. I don't know if it's a classic. It might be a classic just because of even the time span that it was created, like a weekly single thing that you did for, what was it, 12 weeks or however long he did it leading up to Christmas. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like those, he was using them shits like, not throwaways, but he was just, here you go, classic record every Friday. Like those records, if you go back, dog, Good Friday was a crazy tape, dog.
No one has a streak like Kanye, dog. For classics.
We're not even in that 12 months.
Dead ass.
Now nobody can talk to me for real. I don't even realize.
Because when did College Dropout come out? 2004, 2003, 2004 till 2012.
Nah, it was 2003, I think.
Okay, 2003 to 2012. Nothing can touch Kanye. Nothing. Well, Jay-Z, but for like College Dropout.
Not in terms of straight good albums.
College Dropout to late registration to graduation to what is it? 808s and Heartbreaks to fucking My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy to those other projects too.
Full Summer, Good Fridays, Watch the Throne.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry. R.I.P. and peace to everyone who's ever tried.
Yeah, no. But yeah, you guys should go watch that interview. The second one is even better than the first one. He does speak about a lot of things that he's doing in the community. So as far as that goes, it is very informative. I just was kind of thinking about it more on like the music standpoint, but you didn't really talk about music besides those little like hits here and there. But yeah, man, this has been our podcast, Planet of Doubt, episode Sweet 16. Thank you for joining us. If you made it all the way through, we appreciate that. We know that this might be a lengthy one. That's what she said. And I hope you enjoyed it. You might as well click and subscribe right now. Like the video. In the comments, tell us if you paid $150 for the McTravis and you bought it off of Jose. But yeah, let us know how you feel about the topics that were brought up. What music did you like that came on the last week or so? How did you feel about Detroit too? Yeah, man, there's a lot of things we talked about. Tell us how you felt about the movie Tenet, if you did watch it. And yeah, we'll come back next episode and see you guys then. Don't forget, tell a friend. Peace.